Forget the boar worms. This was torture. It has been brought to my attention that I have been far too benevolent with my reviews of late, regularly giving out 4 and 5 Death Star ratings, so I have decided it is time to let the hate flow as I review the Technicolor nightmare that is
Flash, savior of the universe.
As I was saying, released by Universal Studios, this visual insult was directed by Mike Hodges and produced by Dino De Laurentiis. Initially, Laurentiis sought Sergio Leone to direct the film, but the spaghetti western legend dodged the bullet, so to speak, when he turned down the project, stating the script was unfaithful to the original Flash Gordon comic strip created by Alex Raymond. Our film begins with some strange goings-on: earthquakes, flaming hail, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. These events are being studied by Dr. Hans Zarkov, played by Topal, who I'll always remember as Reptevia. You know Reptevia? Fiddler on the Roof? Well, I had to throw in at least one obscure movie reference in this review because it's tradition. Turns out burning hail makes for less than ideal flying conditions, forcing our hero of the picture to make an emergency landing next to Dr. Reptevia's rocket, which is ready to launch in order to try to stop the disasters. So our heroes go on a little Star Trek and land on the planet Mongo, where they are immediately captured by the Imperial Guards, who look like a cross between Mario villains Birdo and Shy Guy, which is fitting, I guess, since this was an Italian production, but mamma mia does this film look bad. It makes Roger Corman look like Ridley Scott. Now I know they were going for a colorful adventure, but rather than a flashy sci-fi extravaganza, it comes off like He-Man meets the Wizard of Oz with costumes so cheap they look like they were bought at Party City. It is embarrassingly bad. This film belongs in a garbage masher because it's
Trash. Frustratingly terrible.
Now before you say, hey, this is an older film, give it a break. Flash Gordon was made as a direct response to the success of Star Wars, and once more, it was released the same year as The Empire Strikes Back, so the effects and costumes were far worse than they had any right to be. Back to the movie. A group of plucky heroes are taken to the Emperor's Palace, where we meet one of the film's only redeeming qualities, our villain of the picture, Ming the Merciless, played by Max von Sydow. Fun fact, his elaborate costume weighed over 70 pounds, causing problems during the filming process, as poor old Max could only stand for a few minutes at a time. Now Ming has the hots for Flash's main squeeze, leading our hero to try to fight off his soldiers by playing a game of football for some reason, in one of the film's most ridiculous scenes. Originally, producer Dino De Laurentiis wanted Snake Plissken himself, Kurt Russell, to play the title role of Flash Gordon, but he turned it down, opting instead to film Escape from New York. The role ultimately fell to Sam J. Jones, who was cast after the producer's mother-in-law saw him on an episode of The Dating Game. The film was plagued by many problems during production. Jones refused to return to the studio for 80-hour sessions until he received payment for his work, and as a result, producer De Laurentiis had all of his dialogue overdubbed by another actor entirely. Things were so chaotic on set, director Mike Hodges called the film the only improvised $27 million movie ever made. Speaking of money, if you would like to be part of what we're doing here at Vader Reviews, donate to our PayPal today. A link is in the description. You'd be my savior of the universe. Thank you to John Crawford, Penview, Robo-Producer Noah Dingley, and Antonio Reyes for your generous donations. Because of your help, we are going to be able to make our very first short film this fall. I'll give you more details soon, but we have completed our location scouting last week, and we have an excellent filmmaker who is collaborating with us as our cameraman. Your support makes exciting projects like these possible. It is greatly appreciated. Any amount helps. We really need the
Cash! Ah! We needed to buy stuff.
Interestingly, there are many connections between Flash Gordon and Star Wars. George Lucas had originally wanted to make his version of the film, but Federico Fellini had the rights to it at the time, so he made Star Wars instead. Kenny Baker, who fans will recognize as R2-D2, had a small role in Flash Gordon, as well as John Hollis, who played Lando Calrissian's aide Lobot. Good old Porkins, William Hookins, plays Dr. Zarkov's assistant at the beginning of the film. And Discount John Rhys Davies' Brian Blessed proved Boss Nass was not the most ridiculous sci-fi role he's ever played, starring as Prince Voltan of the Hawkmen. A lifelong fan of Flash Gordon, Blessed's favorite character was Voltan, so I'm sure you could have knocked him over with a feather when he got the role. And while they were winging it most of the time due to lack of planning during the filming process, it's clear he's on cloud 9 with this flight of fancy. There is a distinct lack of imagination with the creatures in Flash Gordon, while Star Wars has a rich universe full of aliens and droids. All this film has to offer are Hawkmen, Lizardmen, and Merry Men. Although to his credit, Timothy Dalton elevates the film as much as he can as Prince Baron, giving the role a Neville Sinclair charm with his wizard mustache.
Ah! Tom Selleck has one.
Will you stop with the stupid song? Anyway, after Flash has some adventures in a swamp and escapes from a cloud city on a flying jet ski, he heads into the air with Voltan and his army of junior birdmen to try and rescue his lady from Ming, who plans to make her his bride. Flash literally crashes the wedding, turning our villain into a Ming kebab on the nose spike of his shuttle. And the film ends with a tease at a sequel that was never going to happen. In the end, Flash Gordon is a cheese fest of a film that was poorly written and executed worse. Screenwriter Lorenzo Semple Jr. said he couldn't take the source material seriously, so he approached it the same way he approached the 1960s Batman series, by making fun of it. So for its horrible effects, stilted dialogue, wooden performances with the exception of Max von Sydow and Timothy Dalton, an obnoxious film score by Queen, I give Flash Gordon 1 out of 5 Death Stars. And will I ever watch it again? No! I would like to take a moment to lighten the mood here and wish Jacob Stauffer a happy birthday. These are the years when a man becomes the man he's going to be for the rest of his life. Just be careful who you change into. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Happy birthday, kiddo. This has been Vader Reviews. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, and follow me on Twitter @Vader Reviews. Join the Empire today. You do not yet realize your importance. Share these videos, and together we will rule the internet. And always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.